Dear friends, I wish you a holy Jubilee year 2025. The Jubilee year invites everyone to an intense experience of God's love. One of the special signs of the Jubilee year is the granting of indulgences to the faithful, a priceless gift of God's mercy. Now, why do we need indulgences? I'm sure that most of us are aware that mortal sin, unlike venial sin, breaks our relationship with God totally, leading to eternal separation from Him. That is, resulting in eternal punishment if unrepented. Mortal sins as well as venial sins are forgiven through the sacrament of penance or reconciliation. However, even after a sin is forgiven, it leaves behind vestiges or lingering effects of sin which affect human nature, making it prone to sin, such as unhealthy attachments of pride and egoism, etc. These need purification either in this life or in purgatory, which is termed as temporal punishment as opposed to eternal punishment. An indulgence in the Catholic Church is a remission of the temporal punishment due to sin whose guilt has already been forgiven. The Church has an inexhaustible spiritual treasury of the merits of Christ and the saints, which includes the prayers and good works of the Blessed Virgin Mary, as well as the prayers and good works of all the saints. We find this in the Catechism of the Catholic Church, numbers 1477 and 1478. An indulgence draws on this treasury of spiritual goods and applies it to reduce or eliminate temporal punishment due to sin. It is a way to express trust in God's mercy and a commitment to conversion. The Church may grant either partial or plenary indulgence. Partial indulgence removes part of the temporal punishment, and plenary indulgence removes all temporal punishment and cleanses the soul as if the person has just been baptized. All members of the faithful can gain indulgences for themselves, or they can apply it by way of suffrage to the dead. Suffrages are the masses, prayers or acts of piety offered for the repose of the souls of the faithful departed. Canon 996 paragraph 1 states that to be capable of gaining indulgences, a person must be baptized, not excommunicated, and in a state of grace, at least on the completion of the prescribed work. Hence, to be capable of gaining an indulgence, one must be baptized and not excommunicated, be in a state of grace, that is free from sin, perform the prescribed works such as praying, making a pilgrimage, or an act of charity. Have the intention to gain the indulgence. Intention is necessary to receive its benefits. Fulfill the necessary conditions of detachment from all sins, sacramental confession and Holy Communion, and prayer for the intentions of the Pope. These three conditions can be fulfilled a few days before or after performing the works to gain the indulgence. But it is appropriate that communion and the prayer for the Pope's intention takes place on the same day that the work is completed. A single sacramental confession is sufficient for several plenary indulgences, but for each plenary indulgence that is sought, a separate Holy Communion and a separate prayer for the intentions of the Holy Father are required. The prayer for the intentions of the Holy Father is left up to the choice of the individual, but an Our Father and Hail Mary are suggested. For those in the Archdiocese of Bombay, I give below a few prescribed works which may be carried out easily in order to gain a plenary indulgence for the living or the dead. One can obtain the Jubilee indulgence if individually or in a group they devoutly visit, that is, go on a pilgrimage to the following designated centers for a suitable period of time: Cathedral of the Holy Name, Fort Mumbai, Mount Mary's Basilica at Bandra, Our Lady of Velankani Shrine at Batibandar, Uttan, and Our Lady of Fatima Church at Karjat. Once there, they could obtain a plenary indulgence by devoutly participating in Holy Mass or doing any of the following, that is, engaging in Eucharistic adoration and meditation, concluding with the Our Father, the profession of faith and invocations to Mary, the Mother of God, or celebrating the Liturgy of the Hours, which is praying the Breviary, or doing the Way of the Cross, or praying the Marian Rosary or any other prayers, or reading the Word of God, meditating on it and applying it to one's life. Indulgence can also be obtained by doing corporal works of mercy such as feeding the hungry, giving drink to the thirsty, etc. It is also linked to the spiritual works of mercy like comforting the afflicted, forgiving offences, etc. Acts of penance like fasting and various forms of abstinence can also obtain a plenary indulgence. For a detailed account of the prescribed works as mentioned in the decree of the Apostolic Penitentiary dated 13th May 2024, kindly refer to the Examiner of December 7 to 13, 2024, pages 7 to 8. May we all enjoy a fruitful and holy Jubilee year